fast and aggressive. Yeah. A lot of the ranks that you go through, all the way up until you get to the higher ranks, you know, people call it mashing, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, mashing means just doing your attack fast in a Tekken world. Button mashing is a different story, right? Button mashing is just pressing random buttons. You don't know really what's going on, but mashing is just trying to be fast to the punch. So when you're playing lower ranks, like, it's not like you're playing guys who are like perfect and know what to do and are playing so optimally and proper. So mashing, by pressing your attacks fast and playing fast, is just better, because it's gonna beat out people who even might make the right decision but play it slow. You know? If you're slow, but if you think you do the right thing but you play it a little bit slow and you're slow to the punch, you're gonna lose out to somebody who's just doing something wrong but like mashing and going fast. Because if you're slow, you're losing out on frames. Like, you're playing, when you play fast, or sorry, when you're trying to play proper and optimally, like, you're just going under the assumption that you're doing everything correct and you're playing proper and the frames windows are tight, you're doing everything on time, emphasis on time, you know. If you're not on time, then it's not right. Even if what you're doing what you're supposed to do, or you saw your favorite player doing this stuff, if you're not on time, it's not right. You have to be on time. So if you're trying to do what you think is the right move, but you're not on time, it ultimately ends up being the wrong move. God, so annoying. Whoa, defense, perfect, brother. You struggle in the god ranks, you're way too passive. Yeah. If you reach those ranks, the higher ranks. Oops. Everybody's gonna be trying to beat your ass. So, you know, it's better to try to beat their ass right back instead of trying to just defend everything, because it's very hard to defend everything. Mashing is good. That's why, like, what'll happen is when you play with somebody, or like if you're like blue rank or lower or around there, like and you're like trying to learn the game properly, right? You're trying to play you're trying to learn these frame traps, these combos, trying to learn everything, and you play against a guy who you know don't know what they're doing like you do. They clearly didn't study the game, didn't study their characters. They're not trying to strategize and do things proper, but you're still losing. That's because they're just, a lot of it has to do with just the fact that they're faster and they're quick to their attack. They know what they're gonna do. And it happens even at my ranks. Like if I knew what I was gonna do and I wanted to do it and then I was just late, the other guy who's done what they do like 1,000 games, they played the way they played for so long. They just know what they're gonna do and they're quick to the trigger.
Round one.
And they end up winning the exchanges. I mean, those types of guys require a certain moveset or like style of play to defeat. When I spot that, you know. Like, you hear me say it all the time, like, this guy's, you know, he's gonna do what he does anyways. It's not like he's reacting to the situations like I am, or like how you should, and going about it appropriately. They're just gonna do what they want to do. They've gone through their flowcharts, A to the B to the C to the D 1,000 times. So no matter what happens on screen, it's gonna end up A, B, C, you know, it's gonna end up the way that they always play it. And if you know somebody's gonna be playing like that, you can do a couple things, I guess. You can just be faster. You can do your faster attacks like jab them and frame trap them. Do simple frame traps instead of devising this calculated strategy where you're like dashing up and doing all this waiting, trying to bait stuff, because that might not be good if your reactions aren't on point. I mean, the other option would be to study those patterns and those things that they're doing, because there usually is a pattern. Like I said, A, B, spot what their A is, what their B is, and then when you spot the moves, you have to use your understanding of the game. You have to use your understanding of the game and how you know how to deal with moves. To kind of sit back and wait for the patterns, wait for them to do their shit, and then just beat them. Punish them, sidestep, sidewalk, whatever. When I spot somebody that's playing kind of like that, I just kind of take it more slowly so that I can A, learn more about their patterns and see how they develop and how they go about doing their patterns. And then after that, you know, I'll come up with how I want to play. Like what spots I can interrupt or what spots I can whatever. That was just a simple example right there. Like I could tell that he was just running up, doing running 3 no matter what, if I was gonna get up or not. So I'll just stay down, let him do running 3, and then it'll whip, and then I'll punish him. Sometimes it might not, things that you pick out from your opponent might not be a pattern. Like that running 3 example, or like that right there. How he rage arted, you know? You know, if I wasn't in a position where I could just run this guy over, for example, I might try to bait out some rage arts. Oops. I think most of you guys, when you play against somebody who's flow charting, instead of changing up your style of play to adjust, you guys are just doing your flow chart right back. That's what 99% of players are doing. They're just flow charting right back. Wow, why is it so laggy now? PlayStation overheating? You guys just do your flow chart. It's flow chart versus flow chart. Make the best flow chart win. Now you might have learned how to play Tekken from videos, and you're doing frame shot. You're doing your stuff that you learned from your teachers or whatever. But a lot of times you might still be flow charting. You might just be still doing what you know works. Rage? Try and get a rage? No? No rage? Alright. But that was just a one-time thing, I guess. Running 3 again. Almost everyone will flow chart. Yeah, even at this rank, people flow chart. And what separates my flow chart from other people's is that I can change mine whenever I feel like it. It might be a little harder for people to change theirs up. Oops. Tight game. Rage. I think I jabbed. Oh, I blocked the jab. I waited for him to do the rage, but he did it so late. That was crazy. Yeah, he's gonna do his moves. He's gonna do it again. Another one. Yep. Figured out his flow chart, and I changed what I do up. I played him a whole round where that's all that he did, so that's how I just knew. You gonna do the low shoulder on incoming? Likely. Big thrower too. At this point, I'm so low life that I have to just play it very safe. Oops. Flowcharts are basically moves that work well together in succession. Well, moves that work together for them, right? That's why some players' flowcharts are better than others, because some are just more optimal, some are just better. Yeah, some are just more complex.
Get ready for the next battle.
Some people have layers, they can react to what's happening and then change up the from one flowchart to another or one part to another kind of thing.
Round one.
And most people on the lower ranks, like blues or whatever, they just kind of have one path. It doesn't fork off or doesn't branch off or anything like that. But it's not their fault. They just don't know enough about the game to be able to do that. I think that's kind of where they might be getting to. They want to get to where they're well versed, they can change up, can adapt. But the problem is when you play so many games playing one style or doing one thing, it's very hard to change that up. You have to kind of undergo surgery to change Tekken surgery to change up your habits. You have to dedicate entire just Tekken rehab. You know, you have to dedicate entire sessions and matches to just trying the new things and trying to drill it, you know? I've seen it a million times. That's the thing, like, that's why, like, the important part of Tekken is the very beginning. Yeah, like, you can't just be playing by yourself for too long and developing these bad habits. Then it'll be tough to remove them later on. You might really want to. You just can't. It's because you've been drilling the same shit for forever. That's why, like, I recommend people to play with players that they're like a lot better, not a lot better than, you know, at least a level or two above, so that you can actually try to experiment and you don't feel pressured to just try your hardest to win. Because when you're trying your hardest to win, you're just gonna default to what works for you. All right. Ow. Oops, I already had heat. So when you're playing with somebody lower rank, you can just mess around and try out new things. And you're not pressured to win. And when you're pressured to win, you're just gonna shell up. You're gonna try to do what you know best. This guy's not bad. Yeah, you want to train with people worse than you so you can be creative. You can just mess around with things and then figure out what's good. So that way some things become habits as well.
Round one. Fight.
The reason why I say this guy's pretty good is that there haven't really been any noticeable patterns that I've seen them repeat the entire first game, you know. And then if there are things that that are patterns, they're good patterns. They're good things that they don't that the only really workaway around is just like to be solid. You know, the only thing that I feel like I could have exploited from the first round is their use of down back three, the low. But other than that, they've been playing pretty clean. Kept it simple. A little bit too simple. Because when you're keeping it simple against like a competitive pro player or whatever, the pro player is always usually gonna be better at it than you. You have to be able to get funky. You have to mix things up a little bit. So I mean, while they're good, they just not good enough yet at what they're doing. Yeah. This type of play that the Nina is using is very good against players like they're better than. But just not risky enough to beat the players that are better than them. You know what I mean? Kind of basic. Basic, clean, tight. But for someone like me, like those types of styles are a little bit easier to handle and deal with. There isn't much thinking I gotta do other than just be solid, right? I think these are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A couple more in the works, I guess. Yeah, Joe's combos are very optimized. He ain't making you fear for your life. What?
Get ready for the next battle.
Vilgash, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Sup? Janvier. The Burnt Toast Warrior.
Get ready for the next battle.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to practice what I was just telling you guys about.
Round 1.
Spotting them patterns. Just opening around with 2-1, 2-1-3, then the armor crush. Second time using armor crush, it looks like using armor crush to cover out their moves. To beat bears, back 1, power crush move, you do a 13 frame mid. So keep that in mind. Because I think it varies the frames if they go into bear stance or not. So what'll cover both options is to do the 13 frame mid. His rank too is increased, I feel like. Back 1. Back 1. Oh, maybe not anymore. Whoa. 13 frame hit before it just punishes, yeah. We'll talk about on block. So the armor part has already come out, you know. Skip for Tada. Thank you for the subbing. Thank you for Twitch Prime. I'm waiting for more power crushes. I think that I just made them forget about all their gameplay. The one button round? Okay. I know which one I want. So I do it sometimes anyways.
لا أريد إيذاك لكن سأقاتلك إذا اضطررت.
Round 1. Fight.
Simple.
Round 2. Fight.
I'll give you 2 for the price of 1, eh? It's your lucky day.
Round 3.
Okay, I can't do the second round.
Fight.
I can. Oh my god, the mix-ups are too strong. Mix-ups too strong, okay. I couldn't do it. This guy doesn't really just have a flowchart, I guess, other than doing the lows a couple times. Down back 4 is his favorite move. He's not been able to flow. Whoa. Over my mid? So much damage.
Final round.
Is Nani a good character? Ain't that somebody from One Piece? No Even Japan for me this year. I'm going to a US tournament instead. Which tournament? Texas Showdown.
You win, Umar.
Get ready for the next battle.
Be our DreamHack, yeah. So 2 times in Texas this year. The reason for why is because I also feel like dojos are very important, so I have to try to go to also the big dojos that I know are gonna have over 96 players in USA. I think qualifying through the regional leaderboard is gonna be much easier than qualifying through the global leaderboard, you know? Plus, even Japan, like, playing a tournament like that, a ridiculous tournament, how sweaty that's crazy that's gonna be. Like, I don't think any player feels confident about their chances. Nobody really knows Whoever wins, whoever wins EVA Japan is pretty much gonna go and qualify. I think. Wouldn't it be good practice? Yeah, it'd be good practice. When it comes to like choosing a time to go out to Asia to practice, I'd rather play in Asia and practice when the game is more polished. You know what I mean? Sorry, Huguenot, thank you for the sub. Like right now, I know the game is gonna change a lot. If you look at the old Tekkens, Tekken 5, from Tekken 5 to Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection, there were so many changes. They took out a lot of system changes, like tech traps. They added more health. The scaling damage was different, I think. So, and then Tekken 6 BR was the same thing. They nerfed the rage. Freaking added more health. The combos was different. I think you couldn't low parry anymore after bound or something like that. They changed a lot. Tekken 7 at the beginning was they didn't even have rage drive, a component of the game that ultimately became such a big factor in making the game exciting and what the game was all about. In Tekken 7 wasn't in the game until 2 years after the game came out, right? Tekken 7 was out for 2 years in arcades before rage drive came about, and Akuma and all this stuff. So I already am playing under the feeling that this game is going to be totally different by the end of the year, and by the beginning of next year, or by the end of next year, for example. And I'm assuming that the things are going to happen a lot quicker because they're putting more resources into upkeeping this game. So it won't take 2 years like it did Tekken 7, or 2 years like it did Tekken 5, the other games. So if I'm gonna go to Japan and practice and learn how to play this version of Tekken only to have it change up and be totally different later on, it won't really be worth it. So even after Tekken 7 came out on consoles, how different the game was from 2017 all the way to the end of the game was very different as well. More health was added. They had the wall tactics toward the end, you know what I mean? A lot of things. So that's why I also feel like all these people that are complaining about the game, like they're either just complaining for no reason. They just love complaining. They're just gonna complain about something no matter what. They're probably the same people that complain about every single thing in Tekken 7. Or they just don't know how it goes with Tekken. How the game is gonna get better over time, you know. Like they're probably, even before this game came out, they've already been probably working on a bunch of things that they wanted to have added into the game over time, you know? Fuck. What's my opinion on Brian? The round was 40 seconds. The rounds have only been 60 seconds in Tekken for like a million years. Rage. Rage. No. Rage. I think he tried to rage right there. GG's on Helldivers. GG's. I couldn't. I don't know. I couldn't hear what you guys were saying because the game was louder than the voice chat for me. I enjoy jumping into my friends' lobbies and just going through missions with them. Kind of funny. What's fun? Okay, we're getting parried now. So I do talk in lobbies. I actually only just fixed my mic. For the longest time I couldn't figure out why my mic wasn't working in that game. But it was late at night. So I was just like kind of just chilling. But yeah, the robots are way harder than the bugs. And they require different strategies. But how are you liking the game though? I saw that you were kind of new to it. That shit's fun, right? They had you play in the hard mode. And man's level 5. The thing about that game that's cool is that if you're playing with a homie that can carry you, they can drop you down cool shit. You know? Will this work?